I don't say this often, but I am excited about this project. For the past week, I've been researching into a crypto called Ergo, and wow. Picture being able to buy Cardano 4 years ago when it was 5 cents. That's what this reminds me of. But of course, there are risks, so don't go thinking this is like buying an S&P index fund. We need to talk about all the features, the technology here, the risks, and the considerations that you need to make for Ergo. At the very least, you need to learn about this cryptocurrency. And of course, don't think I forgot. I have made a nasty flowchart to help with this breakdown. So here is the kingdom of Ergo right here. Now, if you're a Patreon member, you've already been hearing about this thing for about a week now. If you would like to join the Patreon and get early access to this kind of stuff as I'm researching it, I've opened 20 more spots for this video specifically. So go ahead and grab one of those spots before someone else does if you are interested. Also, if you want to join our free Discord, that will be linked down in the description below as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this little presentation on all things Ergo. We got the token, the goals, the approach, the founders, tech, you name it. Let's go ahead and just jump right in, starting with the token. So the token is ERG, or ERG, whatever you want to call it. They have a market cap of $480 million. So it's definitely on the small side. It's the 132nd largest cryptocurrency as of right now. It's 166 times smaller than the beast, which is Cardano. Now the tokenomics, you are going to like this. There was no initial coin offering, there was no pre-mine, and no VC funding. So it literally does not get more fair than this to start off a cryptocurrency. This is how Bitcoin started, exactly how Bitcoin started. You can see I got a whole lot of trust there. Now the no ICO thing, as much as I'm a big fan of this also kind of creates a risk, which I'm going to talk about later on in this video. Now the tech, you're going to like the tech as well. So it uses the same accounting model as Cardano, which is EUTXO. It's very similar to Cardano in many ways. This takes Bitcoin's UTXO accounting model and then adds the ability to carry data within the transactions and then add scripts, which is basically adding smart contracts to transactions, which is something that Bitcoin struggles a little bit with. And here's a little diagram I drew on how UTXO works. It's a lot like cash. It's a lot like paying someone cash and then receiving change back. If you want a little bit more in depth on that, I'll pin a video of mine above that explains that much further. Now let's talk founders. The first co-founder here is Alex Cherpanoy. He's a previous core developer at IOHK. So he was building Cardano and building ADA. Has a ton of experience there, has more than 20 academic papers, and co-founded Chainlink. Genius. And then we have Dmitry Meshkov. He's a previous researcher at IOHK, and he has a PhD in physics. And we want to always mention the Hosk. So Charles Hoskinson, founder of Cardano, is a big vocal fan of Ergo. He's mentioned it many times.
And I love the code, love the ideas, and one of these days I'll take a larger position in Ergo and build up the ecosystem. It is really a shame that that's not a top 25, top 50 project. It's really a shame because frankly, the ideas in that project are significantly better.
And this is also a quote from him. This was actually a tweet. Ergo is an extremely exciting project run by IOHK alums, Dmitry and Alex. I'm happy to see it grow and evolve. And here's a picture of him I found on Google. Okay, from here, let's talk goals. Their main goal is to simply be the best platform for smart contracts. And if you know me, I am a huge fan of the disruption that will be smart contracts. Basically, what a smart contract is a digital if-then statement, and I'll pin a video above that breaks that down even further as well if you want more juicy information on how smart contracts will disrupt basically everything. So this is listed on their site as far as goals go. So the first goal in quotes here is to create a resilient platform for contractual money. So basically contracts on the blockchain, be smart about it, be resilient so it doesn't fail because it's dealing with important things a la money. And here's another quote directly from their site. Unlike the traditional financial system, no bailouts, blacklists, or other forms of discrimination should be possible on the core level of Ergo protocol. Here's their approach. So they're kind of taking some notes from Cardano. They have this rigorous academic approach where Well, as we have written right here, move fast and break things approach is not appropriate when millions or billions of dollars are at stake. That is directly from Ergo. They do everything on the academic level. If there isn't an academic solution, they find that solution before they implement it. That's kind of their methodology. They also have a high focus on trust, which we talked about earlier. No ICO, no VC funding, no pre-mine. They want this to be as trustworthy of a platform as possible and user-friendly. So this is a little bit nerdy, but about their network. So their network has a unique feature that it allows users, even on their phone, to verify transactions with a light version of a node that's only 1 megabyte as opposed to multiple gigabytes and much more work to verify transaction. It's kind of cool on the tech side. That's all I got to say. Features. On-chain Oracle. So this is a very cool feature that they are implementing. So for fully functional smart contracts, you need oracles. You need data from outside of the smart contract to be pumped in to the smart contract to then answer. Remember, it's an if-then statement. So if your contract is, if it doesn't rain, send this farmer $500, an oracle can send that data to the smart contract saying, oh, nope, it didn't rain. Let's send that farmer $500. That's all an oracle is. So Ergo has a new way to do this that creates even more trust and potentially better data. They have oracle pools. So data is fed by multiple oracles and then averaged. That way there isn't data from one oracle who just may have bad data. It's averaged and then outliers are taken out, which means the data is more likely to be accurate. Also, what's interesting is this would be available on the blockchain for anyone for free, that data, which means it'd be much more easy and cheap to start new dApps on this blockchain and have data right there for free. It's amazing. They'll also be the primary oracle for Cardano, which would be huge. They also have NFTs, everyone's favorite right now. So Ergo has its own on-chain NFTs that have already launched. You can go and buy one right now if you want at ergoauctions.org. And the fees are near zero to buy an NFT there. It's pretty cool. They also have a DEX, which is getting a whole lot of excitement. I've talked about this briefly in another video. This is a decentralized exchange. Basically, you can swap coins with another holder of a different type of coin without a central custodian like Coinbase or Binance or someone like that. It's in the future anyways, it'll be a far better solution, both cost effectiveness, it's already cheaper, but hopefully in the future it'll be more user-friendly as well. That's kind of the area where DEXs are lacking a little bit, but it's an exciting area nevertheless. So they have more functions already than Ethereum DEXs. They have limit orders, partial filling for orders, and they have anti-rug pull measures for ICOs, which could potentially be huge. If you were creating an ICO for some cryptocurrency and you were trustworthy, you probably would want to go to the place that has the measures in place. That way you just have that extra layer of safety for those buying in, a little bit more peace of mind for those buying in, which could mean that this entire ecosystem gets more valuable if more and more projects are built on top of it. It will also work on the Cardano network, which I think will be massive. I think it's going to serve this network multiplier effect where you can exchange between Ergo and Cardano and use both very fluidly and very easily. And if this DEX blows up and becomes the Uniswap of Cardano, I mean, Ergo is going to be taken with it. Now, the Ergo coin is not the coin that will be the governance coin of the ErgoDEX. That's important to remember. There will be a different coin, but of course, the Ergo coin will still benefit if the DEX becomes huge. One limitation of the Ergo coin is it's kind of hard to buy. There's not very many great places to buy it. Luckily for me, the exchange that I use, KuCoin, is one of like the couple exchanges, and it's by far the most reputable one that you can actually buy this. So I'll have that link down below if you are interested in this. Make sure you watch the risks first, but that'll be linked down below if you are interested. All right, we got one more thing to consider here before we get to the risks, and that is mining. So this is strange enough is a proof of work coin, and they have kind of a different outlook with proof of work. So they are as eco-friendly as proof of work can get, but it's still not as eco-friendly as a proof of stake. That's important to note. They have some interesting ideas though for mining stability. So an issue with mining a token like Bitcoin is after the emission period, after they're done actually mining new coins, a miner is relying on transaction fees, and that might not always be as stable. So ERG has a system where if a token is unmoved from a wallet for 4 or more years, miners can now start charging a very, very small storage fee for that coin. Now, this does a couple things. It makes it so miners have more stable earnings, which is great. You want the miners to have stable earnings. That way you just have better miners. And it also has a secondary effect of wallets that aren't being used those coins will slowly go back into the ecosystem. Now, I don't want you to be concerned that, if I have coins in my wallet, they're just going to disappear. No, it would happen slowly, and all you'd have to do is move your coins and then move them back, and then the 4-year clock would restart. But I know it's a very strange concept. It was very strange when I was reading too, and I was like, really? That's kind of weird, but that's how it works. Risks. We need to talk risks. Proof of work. So I listed this as a risk because popularity, of course, matters. And proof of stake is hot right now for many good reasons, and they are proof of work. So part of me in the back of my mind wonders, can a proof of work coin become popular still? Is that still possible? So that's one hurdle that this coin would definitely have to come across, and that's maybe something that their marketing department could figure out and explain a little bit better. Also, it's not easily traded, like I mentioned. It's not available on many exchanges. This could be kind of looked at as an advantage because once it is on more exchanges, of course, the price is going to go up, but it's a disadvantage as of right now. It's a small cap coin, which means there is much more risk with this coin. Much more risk. It is very high risk. I'm not saying this is a guarantee by any means. I just simply like the tech and I like what I've seen so far. This is far from a guarantee. I'm not a financial advisor. Every single disclaimer you could possibly have, there's your disclaimer. Also, it's at near all-time highs. Not quite, but at near all-time highs. So of course, any project that is up in that tipping point, we're by default in our uncharted territory, and you have to be careful. Another risk that I didn't write down that I think is a risk is their marketing isn't amazing. It's okay, but not amazing. And this is partially due to the ICO. This is what I mentioned earlier. Not having an ICO is great for trust. I love seeing that with the trust aspect, but it does have a secondary effect of they don't have as much cash on hand. They don't have a marketing budget to get this out to everyone. It has to be grassroots because they don't have the money to spend. And their marketing is a little bit lacking. Now, they are fairly big for really having no marketing, but it's another hurdle that they'll have to pass in order to become a huge top 25 project. And of course, that is a risk. So all in all, I am still very excited about this project. Very excited. I'm not saying you should absolutely buy. I'm saying you should do more diligence after this. But it's very cool to see a project this small to have so much potential without just an absurd market cap. It's cool to see that and come across like a little hidden gem like this. So I would like to thank you for watching. Go ahead and join the Patreon if you want to see what exactly I end up buying here. Go ahead and join that if you want. There's probably a couple spots down there. And I'd just like to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.